are in Hangzhou.
Hangzhou, yeah, Hangzhou.
And we've been here for 2 days now. We arrived here after a 95-kilometer cycle from Jiaxing,
Yeah.
which took us a full day. And we checked into our hostel, which is down by the West Lake.
Yeah. So the West Lake is like this big lake that they have in Hangzhou, and you can like either cycle around it, and they have like a pagoda, and there's temples, and they have a botanical garden, and like next to the botanical garden they have one of the Chinese tea museums, and it's like an outdoor museum. So you go in and then you hike through the tea leaves. Tea leaves? Hike through the tea fields. Hike through the tea fields. And then you get to drink some tea, but we didn't do that because we ran out of time.
No, what we did instead was we walked
Yeah.
around the park that's beside the lake, and we went to a big pagoda, a big 5-story pagoda called Leifeng. Who knows how to pronounce these things?
Right.
Pagoda. So this pagoda was, it goes back into the long ago's.
Yeah, it's really old, and there's like the story about this like immortal woman that came to Earth.
What was her name?
By Su Zhen. She came to Earth because she felt like she wanted to live the mortal life, and then she turned into a snake, and then she stole a herb, and then she was imprisoned. There was like a huge battle, and she was imprisoned in the pagoda. And then the pagoda crumbled, and then she was like reunited with her family. Like there's this huge like story about it, and displayed all around the pagoda in like these wooden carvings when you walk in, which is really nice.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Another great thing about the pagoda is there's an escalator that takes you up to
The escalator to the
there's,
pagoda
like, no
was
stairs.
pretty funny. The history of the pagoda, the actual history of the pagoda, outside of the mythology of it, is interesting. We saw a painting, right, that was done by an 18th century painter, and like this was a painting of the West Lake, and you could actually see the pagoda in the background of this
Right,
painting.
yeah.
So it actually
Crumbled,
did
like,
exist,
yeah.
and it actually did crumble, but it was rebuilt from about 2000 to about 2002, trying to preserve as many of the foundations as they could, which is pretty cool.
And then they found one of Buddha's hairs there.
Yeah, so there's a big silver like pot
Silver
kind
cast.
of thing.
It's a silver cast of the pagoda.
And then inside that is
Yeah.
a gold like box that has
Buddha's
some
hair
of
in it.
Sakyamuni's hair, allegedly. Who
Allegedly.
knows?
So that's there.
That was pretty cool.
And then we did another thing. We just went across the road, and there's a temple. What's the name of the temple?
Jingci Temple.
Jingci Temple. So people go up the pagoda to see the view, because you can see the lake and everything from there. But if you actually go to the temple across the road, the view from the temple is amazing, because you can see the lake and the pagoda.
Pretty amazing.
And this temple was #1 out of 300 temples during the time when Buddhism was big in China. I don't know when it was. Is it Song Dynasty?
Something like that. It could
Some
have been
dynasty. And there was, we met a really nice guy from Taiwan that explained that his master like made wood appear out of the earth.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
used a fan, and he pulled wood up from this
Right.
well, and he showed us the marks on the well where the wood had like pushed up.
Come
and
up, and apparently it was quite funny, and like whatever. Didn't like this Buddhist.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't like listen to anyone. He was
Bodhisattva.
just like always like funny.
Bodhisattva.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that area was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Hangzhou itself is huge as well.
Yeah, it's very.
I mean, not
very
quite the
big.
size of Shanghai, but we cycled on our first day. We cycled 15 kilometers south from where we arrived, and only then arrived where we're staying now. So it's really big.
China has, is it 102? 102 cities that have over 1 million people living in it.
Which sounds like a lot, but then when you consider that there's actually
like a
1.3 billion people living here,
Yeah, it's a
that
lot
kind of
of
makes sense.
people here. And then we also went to, so I've been like watching a lot of food ranger videos, because he does like things about like food in China. So we're just eating our way through this country, and we went to this place where they have this tank with fish in it, and they catch the fish, And then they prepare, it's like fish and spices and tofu and beer, a whole beer. They pour in there, and then they have these like flatbreads that they put along the side. It was delicious.
It was
so good.
the best thing we've eaten in China, and
So
maybe the
good.
best thing we've eaten.
And it is where in Shengli River Road. So it's not that hard to find. You can just go on the Food Ranger website, and like he has like locations.
It was a
and
little
stuff.
bit hard to find. It was like
Yeah.
we spent a while finding it.
Yeah, just look.
it was worth
like
it.
on his videos, just look what the interior of the interior of the restaurant looks like, and then you'll find it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, and there's probably so much more to do in Hangzhou, but we gave ourselves 3 days here because we need to eventually reach
3 nights. 3 nights.
3 nights.
Yeah.
We need to eventually reach Guangzhou, so we gotta start. We gotta start moving. Maybe we should have another beer before we go though.
Yeah, we're gonna have